Oh, dead there. What? I can't. You're not allowing me? All right. Whoever whoever is the YouTube gods today hates me. This is just. Oh, here's my eyebrow pencil stuff. This is live, so you don't get I saw that happen. It was amazing. This is live, so you don't get, you know, all of the classy stuff. You get awesome stomach things going on. Here you go. Hello, holes and poles. Get hard, get steady, get your butts ready for me, Lilu. Hi, 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 hi. I'm Lilu. Somebody asked me a question today. Let me pull up the question. I think I'm just gonna answer questions now from whoever asked me questions, because other people, I believe that they pay people to ask questions, or the questions are fake. So today the question from somebody we'll call CS. Can I ask you something? Something. And you don't have to answer if you don't want to, but when did you decide to become female? So, one, you're not supposed to answer this question, nor ask the question. This is the first time someone interacted with me, so it is very bad to ask that question. It's basically like someone has a mastectomy and they don't have tits, and you're like, when did you decide to get rid of your tits? Something like that. But it's not that bad because that person was sick. I'm using it as one of the worst possible things to say. I want to flush the toilet. When you like use it and stuff doesn't go down all the way. There's like toilet paper and stuff. Good old toilet flush is always good to have in there. But it's just one of those things you don't ask. You don't ask about genitalia. You don't ask about this and that. But maybe for this instance, it's different for me because lately people don't think that I'm transgender. So for the fact of someone asking me when did I choose to be a female is actually like, wow, you actually know that I'm transgender and you kind of know what you do. I've seen a lot of people are transgender, and I sometimes don't know if they were born with certain genitals or not. Imbalance. Like I've even dated people who are female at birth or cis females, and I still suspect that maybe they're trans. Like they can't have kids. Maybe they have like a hormonal imbalance, and maybe they have testicles inside, and they're very aggro and alpha. And I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind if like half the girls I dated told me that they were born with maybe like one nut hanging out. They just popped it in. That wouldn't bother me. I'd be happier. And my mom's home. So, so the question is, when did I choose to transition and become female? I never did. Lilu's in the bathroom on YouTube making a YouTube video explaining about being transgender. Where'd you go? Where'd you go? To work. Anyways, since people that I was either or of genders, and most people thought I was a girl, they would bother me and tease me saying that I was a girl. So most of my life, I actually fought being a girl, and I was a tomboy, and I I played in the mud. I built forts and houses. I drew. I didn't play sports though. I liked running, but I never I never did anything that was of my gender. I liked cooking, and my family didn't allow the bowl cooking area because that's where the women belonged. And all of the men would come in and they would like pick at food because the men wanted to eat the delicious food. And somehow over time, I just became part of the cooking thing where I was helping them cook. My mother knew that I watched the cooking channel primarily all the time, and I just enjoyed cooking. So the gender norms of being in the kitchen slowly changed. And also with how my family does food, there's a lot of butchering and killing of animals. So it was like I was there to kill pigs. I don't think I killed a cow, but there was a lot of pig killing and holding them down and taking apart their bodies. Deers, we would butcher deers as well. So once the meat was cut and killed and then pulled and then dragged, then I would help in cooking, making rice and beans. I was just there all the time. So my role within my family was basically the hunter, provider, and creator of just all around good time. I started growing my hair really long because I just liked it. I didn't like really short hair. I have a really small, so when people would be like, let's just cut an inch of bangs of this much or nothing. It just sticks up. White people have bigger foreheads. No offense, but I mean it's just a brown thing. We don't have that much forehead. I don't know why. Maybe more hair. I could shave my head, do a divine thing, but it was either I was allowed to have my hair cut to my eyebrows, and when it got to my nose, it was too long. And my hair is curly. I didn't know till I got older that my hair was curly. I was basically straightening it most of my life up until my 30s, until I got tired of my hair burning and twisting, and I got a dread thing going on. But in my teenage years, I started growing my hair out, and my parents allowed me to. And I'm sure I looked even more like a little girl. People would scream at me. They'd be like, "Are you a girl?" And it's just like, why are you screaming at me if I'm a girl? I'm very confused. Older men would also bother me. They would talk to me and tease me, but I knew that they were hitting on me, so I had to like stay away. And I think my mom kept me away from a lot of people, so I didn't really I didn't really learn how to be as social as I should have been. I I moved away and I fell in love with someone and I had a kid. I was 17, she was 18, which best thing ever cuz like have kids early old and you start like thinking like, "Oh man, I'm going to like have a kid and then I can't like go on a boat cruise or go on a vacation or I don't know, do whatever like adults do. Like if you can pop out a kid on it as much as possible, it's best for the kid because then they get to have an amazing life in this world and they get to explore every weird thing you get to. And once you get older, it becomes harder. So the reason I'm saying this is because after I had my kid, started meeting people and exploring my gender more. I kind of tried cutting my hair really short, and after I left her mom, I was living in. I was tattooing. I still did makeup and all that, but I tried the short hair thing, and it seemed like when my hair was shorter, I was a woman. More people thought I was butch lesbian or like a power lesbian or something, but like I kept getting other butch lesbians hitting on me. And it was just weirder. Like, and they were more. Now it's transphobic, but they would date me, they would be around me, but they wouldn't want to interact with me sexually because of my anatomy, and they would tell me that, and it was very. I guess the word's dysphoric. Like, all of these lesbians keep hitting on me and dancing with me and going on dates with me, and then they're just like, I can't fuck you because you have a dick, and I didn't I didn't know how to deal with that. Um, I started growing my hair back, and I knew like the really short hair thing didn't make me more of a man or more of a woman. It just made people think that a certain type of lesbian, and instead of like men trying to hit on me, it was women, and women were the ones that were I was tricking them into liking them because I looked like a lesbian, which at that time, short-haired lesbians were like the L word. Like everyone knew if you cut your hair short, and it's basically to like let people know that you're not a femme. Femmes basically like let you know that they're into you because they move their hair from their neck, twist it, or they do something to get your attention or let you know that they're interested. And when your hair is really short, you can't do that. You gotta, I don't know, cupcake or I'm cute. I don't, whatever you do to let people know you're interested in them. Maybe point. I don't know. I'm 35. My my feminine expression, along with the way I hit on people, deciphers. But I mean, if I'm in a giant cosplay hat and I have like big horns, of course maybe I'm gonna do more expressions. But I never decided to be a woman even then. After a certain point, people would, well, after a certain point, I'll explain later, but people were always suggesting that, that I become a woman, trans, and I should get boobs. And that's like, I guess the whole egg sentiment where they think they can push someone into something, and it's just like, maybe they thought they were controlling me. Maybe they thought that, like, if I had tits, that they could keep me forever. And it was like some sort of slight neg, like a mind control. Like, if you tell a girl you don't like her nose and she gets a nose job and then she's really hot, you date her forever and she thanks you and blah, blah, blah. So maybe girls were saying it to me so that the same thing. But I've always stood in the mirror and wanted to see this, and that's it. And I've seen men get boob jobs and have huger tits than me, and they don't show anybody. Or, well, I think the person that I'm talking about has showed people because I've seen them. But I know that female bodybuilders take testosterone, and they get their parts get bigger, and they're still female bodybuilders. They call themselves what they want. But when I first started getting into the concepts of transitioning, I didn't want to be a woman. I didn't want to get my bottom surgery. I didn't want to get facial surgeries. I wanted to be me with boobs. I didn't want all that. Um, yeah, there's a big thing for if you're transitioning. The people in the community follow all of their rules. They wanted you to be trans sub, and they wanted to be your trans mommy and get you medicines and get you things and that. And I don't want to be around someone like that. And I especially aren't attracted to they're doing that. And I just didn't want to be around them, like drag queens and the drag queens in the area. that would do that stuff. It's just like it's scary, hideous. I'm scary, hideous too, but they weren't my scary, hideous. Like I couldn't talk to them. Like I'm just gonna do my own thing. What is this? Whatever. And I guess if I hung out with those people, gay culture and gay flagging and all that stuff, and but I didn't like any of it. I still don't like any of it. The reason I adhere to most of this stuff is because some people do and some people don't, and some people pretend like they don't. That's their thing. So during the time of my transitioning, I moved to Chicago and I was already wearing bras and stuff. I always wear whatever underwear, but I was wearing bras. I looked the same as I did when I was 13, except I was older. Hung out with the same people. Just had to tell them that I was transitioning, and or I didn't do it before because people were very strict about it. They wanted you to go through a process almost like an apprenticeship, which I did go through an apprenticeship for tattooing. So I'm always a professional tattooist. Just because of transphobia, I don't like doing it. I kind of wanted to do my own thing, and I started seeing people who were doing their own thing. And the biggest problem is that I wanted to transition, but I didn't want my voice to change. And I struggled with that later on. But my voice changing and not not like having to walk around and talk super high all the time so people wouldn't know that I was trans was the big thing. And I dated someone who tried to help me with that, and then I just couldn't deal with it. I just didn't care. So deciding to take the hormones and then doing that for years, and then my voice started changing and I couldn't hit the lows that I wanted. At that point, I wanted to be just trying to want to be he or her, but because of all of the things going on were stealth. I know for years there's been transgender people and they haven't came out and said it. There's there's people that are suffering that would love to be trans. Um, like I would have been comfortable just being Lilu and no one ever saying anything. Like the gender concept was just dumb, and I've had the same concept since I was born catching up. I transitioned because I always look like this, and a lot of the other people might feel the same way that there's nothing that I've changed at all. I just have more flesh. Like I'm sure people get like plastic surgery and get more altered with themselves, and they don't say a thing. Like no one should say a thing. You get a new nose, you're not a new person. You could be, and then people respect that. Freddie Mercury's got a new name. He's Freddie Mercury. If you wanted to be Barney E Stem Cell, then you call him Barney E Stem Cell. But I took the hormones, and I felt like you had to like pick either a thing, and female is the best one because I look best the way female. I don't feel female. I feel the same way as I do as a kid. Just a person that people really want to be around. Um, I don't like the non-binary thing because then people don't know what to say, and I get stuck saying they them for everybody. But I just like being a person, and I never chose to be a female, but either. I just have a part. and I took some medicine to change a little. Now I would love to take more hormones so my boobs get bigger because I feel like before um the medicine I was getting wasn't strong enough, and I think that I have to do like a triple or double dose that I was taking to actually get my boobs to grow to a size, because before it wasn't working. I switched up to a new doctor and then they got bigger. And I know that while you're taking them they get bigger. The problem is that your penis shrinks and you don't shoot out semen, which I like shooting out semen. It's one of my favorite things.
It's that time, little Levy.
It's that time, talk about recycling. And especially I like my voice. And it really messes with my voice. It is my voice 2 octaves, and I can hit the lowest octave on a piano. So I want to stay in that range. I was taking the estradiol, and I was the one that you sublingually take and you let dissolve. When that goes on your throat, it actually changes your vocal cords. So that's been my big worry is being able to record music and shoot the shit, draw my eyebrow. What are we gonna do today?
Take a shower. It's time to go.
What? You're gonna take a shower? Why are you taking a shower? You take a shower every single day?
Yep.
That's so bad.
Or the hygiene.
No, that's not hygiene. You're losing all of your body's juices.
I don't care if the Jesus. Don't
You
lose
can't
it.
take a shower every day. It's wasting water. Tell my mom. I'm gonna make you late on purpose. So I wish there was a definite answer about why I decided to become a female, because I never chose that. It's just kind of like there's a movement in the world, and being transgender, being a trans female is what most people are, and basically choosing that to support a movement, even though all these years I've never been a female. I've just been a person who is just doing what they want to do and is supporting by just taking up a gender norm, I guess. Because they don't even respect me being transgendered, which is fucked up, but eventually they'll just respect the fact that it's going back to the concepts of what it is when people first started, where before colonialization, before people taught us that we had to praise the women do this and men do that. We're all tribes. I believe I'm two spirit. I am a mixture of my mother and father, and for some reason, instead of one of those spirits, one of those pieces of whatever the puzzle is that was built in me, both of those people stayed, the woman and the man. And maybe for some people that doesn't happen. My religion and my people's religion and the way that Mexica existed before all of this will continue to exist after our colonialized, shrunken heads decide to think. And the government tries to put a kibosh on what it is that people are, but they can't. Because all of us existed before the government, all of us existed before America, all of us existed even before people decided to build anything. We all just sat around eating seeds all day, carving our pumpkins, dancing, singing, being whatever we wanted to. We didn't have pants, we didn't have makeup, we had ceremonial gowns. We were just people. So we got to get back to that. Late Bates.